Hi airsoft and YouTubers. This time we're looking at a sniper rifle. This is my long-term sniper rifle. It's made by ASC. It's the Steyr SSG-69. Here's the pictures. And here's the gun. There we go. As you can see, it's a full-length, classical style sniper rifle. Now this is a budget rifle. It's retails for around £80 in the UK, without the scope and scope mounts of course. And it is a budget rifle for a reason. It is quite cheaply made. However, it is still very good value. It's a copy of the Austrian Army sniper rifle, the Steyr Mannlicher 69. But actually it's a Chinese clone of the Tokyo Marui APS-2. All the internals in these things are APS-2 clones. I've never tried changing any parts for any APS-2 upgrade parts, but they may fit, I don't know. Okay, what's the gun like to use? Straight out of the box, this thing was shooting at 458 feet per second, which isn't bad at all for £80. Accuracy wise, I tried it on the shooting range and I was able to hit an inch wide target at 30 metres no problem without even using a scope, just iron sights. So I was well impressed, and that's why I bought it, even though I'm not really the sniper type. So with the scope on, it's excellent. But again, you have to buy your own scope. I've got 3 to 9 by 40 on here. £30, scope mounts are set back another £10, so you're looking at an extra 40 quid on whatever you spend for the gun. We tried tweaking it. We took it apart, greased it, cleaned it, tweaked it, and we managed to get the FPS up to a start line 455. So another 5 FPS. Still, we tried. Let's see now. The gun itself has a small magazine here on the underside, as you can see. It only holds about 20 or 30 rounds, but it is a sniper rifle after all. And I've never tried purchasing any other spare magazines for it. There's no real point. Speed loader will load it in seconds. The pull, this is just a bolt action gun, takes a little bit of effort. Don't do that folks, that's bad for the gun. Takes a little bit of effort. Kids may find it a bit of a bind, but no problem for your larger chaps. Barrel, again, I didn't bother replacing anything. When you look at these things, the barrel actually starts around about here. So it's only slightly longer than your standard airsoft gun. Where your accuracy comes in is that it's only shooting single shot, it's shooting high feet per second compared to a normal rifle, an AEG. And of course, you've got your scopes, and you're usually shooting heavier BBs. When you use a sniper rifle, you'll normally be using at least 0.3 BBs instead of your usual 0.2 gram BBs. Use 0.3s, 0.35s, 0.4s even. The heavier a projectile is, the flatter the trajectory, the longer it will hold that trajectory, particularly in windy situations. So you always go for your heavier BBs folks. That's a tip, write it down. As you can see, I've swathed the gun in stealth tape, as it's known, because the thing is just shiny black straight out of the box, which is no good. You're ghosting yourself right away. You can be spotted from some distance, unless you're really hiding in shadows. So I lashed out 5 quid on a roll of stealth tape, and we stealthed it up a bit. There's obvious issues with having to keep the magazine area open, so you can still use it, and the bolt action. Apart from that, it wasn't too hard. And it definitely helps when avoiding being seen when you're sneaking around. The actual hop-up adjust is very easy as well. There's a small lever located in the side here that you just push forward and back to tune your hop-up. Very easy, but slightly easy to knock as well. You may knock it out, but again it's 2 seconds to reset it. The gun, as I say, is quite cheap in feel, because the body is just a real hollow plastic. It's never let me down, but it is just a real cheap feeling plastic. And the gun comes in 2 parts in the box, the actual metal gun parts, and then the stock itself is a separate part, and it's held together by 2 small screws which you put in when you assemble the gun. So again, stock's just held on these 2 small screws. It's never let me down though, so no complaints there. It's never felt like coming apart. So maybe it's fine, who can tell. It's certainly lighter than carrying around some of the big wooden bodied and fancy bodied L96 style sniper rifles, and performs just as well. Because it's not gas as well, you've obviously got a lot more consistency in any weather. It came with this strap, just one of your normal cheap straps, although it is slightly more beefy than the ones you get with an AEG when you buy those value pack AEGs. Those will snap within seconds. This has been going for a year now, still not snapped, although I'm not sure how much I would trust it for jogging through the woods or anything. These things don't see a lot of use anyway, you tend to be holding the gun more. So there you go for 80 quid. It's a bargain gun. It shoots really well, although it does feel somewhat cheap. There's not a lot of adjustments you can make to the thing really. You could go and try and put in stronger springs and so forth, but I think you would be pushing it to actually cock the thing. The buttstock actually came with a little adjustment. You can't see here for the stealth tape, but the last 2 inches of the butt are actually plastic spacers. You can adjust, you can put in a certain number of plastic spacers to bring the buttstock backwards and forwards to suit yourself. Being 6'2", I put them all in, and it's just okay for me. It's just long enough with all the spacers in. But again, the spacers, cheap plastic, held on with just 2 screws which bolt straight through. Again, it feels fairly solid for all that, but again, you wouldn't want to drop this rifle. You may not get it back in one piece. So there you go, as a bargain sniper weapon, or starter sniper weapon, excellent value for money, very cheap, but shoots as good as the more expensive versions. You can't go wrong. So I would recommend it if you see it. You've got to remember it is built to a price though. So, not the best of materials, but it does perform well. And because it's a sniper rifle, you're not blazing away for hours with the thing. You're not going to wear out the internals in a hurry. And the bolt action, you're going to use hardly any ammunition compared to an AEG. So if you're the stealthy type, you want to go around shooting people from a distance, lying in uncomfortable positions, then this is the weapon for you. Okay,